Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is how to increase your FOV in Fortnite as mentioned in my previous video. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. The link will be in the description. My previous video was how to get stretch resolution in Fortnite after the patch that Epic put out, which was locking the game's resolution in native, which is 1920 by 1080. But in that video, I showed a method which allowed you to get stretch back in the game, and it's working now, so go try it. But I also realized in that video that my recording software locked the resolution of the recording to 1920 by 1080 in the second part of the video, so I can see how it would look like the game wasn't stretched. However, the game was stretched, just it didn't entirely show. It was just a bug in my recording that I did fix, so it should be good now. The stretch resolution method does work though, as long as you follow all the steps properly. But in this video, as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be showing all of you how to get a working FOV changer that zooms out your game and increases your FOV in Fortnite. But I do also want to mention that this FOV changer cannot work with my previous stretch resolution method. But I already wasted too much time, so let's just get into this method for the FOV changer. The first thing you want to do is load up your web browser, whether that's Google Chrome, Firefox, Safari, or anything that you use to browse the internet. But in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to do it on Google Chrome. Once you are in your web browser, you want to head over to brskins.com. I already loaded up just to save time. And then we're going to use this website to get the FOV changer. So what you want to do, you want to go up to the search bar, click this, and type in FOV changer. Press enter. Now once this loaded up, you're going to see this where it says Fortnite FOV changer. You want to click on this link. Once you hit enter, it's going to take you to this page right here, and you see the little image, and this is what the FOV changer is going to look like. Then once you come down here, it says Fortnite FOV tool free download. Fortnite FOV changer allows you to alter the FOV field of view of your Fortnite game to fit your needs. Go back to stretch res in Fortnite season 10, and that's what we want, so that's what we're going to do. I should also probably mention that this method is not going to give you a virus of any kind. I've tried it myself and I've used it myself, and the method worked completely. In order to download this software, you are going to need a program called WinRAR. It allows you to extract the file and be able to open the FOV changer. The link for that's going to be in the description below. The link in the description is going to take you to this page, which is the download page for WinRAR. Once you get to this page, you want to go down here to where it says latest localized WinRAR beta versions, and you want to scroll down and select your language and your bit. In case any of you did not know what a bit is the amount of pixels that your processor can process in your computer. So for me, in this case, I have a 64-bit PC, but if you would like to check how many bits your PC does have, you want to go down to the start menu and you want to right click on it, and you can go up to system. Once your setting page loaded up, it should show something like this, and you want to go under device specifications, and then it shows your device name, your processor, your installed RAM, your device ID, your product ID, and then your system type. See, mine is a 64-bit operating system by a 64 base processor. Yours may say 32, but anyway, that's how you check that. So now we can close this and go back to the page, and I can scroll down to where it says English 64-bit. You click on this, and it'll download in the bottom here. Now this is going to be in the bottom down here, and then you'd click on this, and once you click on this, it's going to bring up this: do you want to allow this app to make changes to your device? As I said, this is not a virus at all. You're going to click yes. It's going to bring this up, and then it's going to do all of this, and then you can choose your destination folder. Mine's going to stick to program files and then WinRAR. Then you want to press install. And depending on your internet speed, mine is very fast, as you can see, so it would take longer depending on that. But once you're done, you're done here, you can press OK, and then it should bring up this right here, and then you can press done. Now once that's finished, you can minus out of your web browser, and it's going to bring up WinRAR here. You can drag this out to your desktop, which is what I'm going to do. And then you can close this, and it's going to have this, so you should be completely fine now. But now we can go back to the FOV page, and we can scroll down to where it says download. You click the download icon. It's going to bring up this page right here. It's going to bring up Mega. Then you're going to see this FOV Changer RAR. See, it's a RAR file, and we downloaded WinRAR, so it's going to come up in this, and we can open the file actually. So you want to go over here, you can either import it to Mega, or you can press the download. We're going to press the download through the browser. You click download, and as I said, depending on your internet speed, it should be fast or slow, but mine is pretty fast. And now we're finished here. It's going to be down here. Now we're finished with the web browser, so you can go ahead and close that out, and now you're going to see WinRAR, which we downloaded, and the FOV Changer here. What you want to do, you want to go ahead and right click on this file, and you want to go down to extract here. Now once you extract, it's going to come into this folder right here. You're going to see FOV Changer. You can double click on this, and it's going to see all of the FOVs that we can use. There's two ways you can do this. One, you can do the first method, which is what I'm going to show you now, or you can do a second method, which is what I'm going to show you second. But first, we're going to double click on the FOV tool. It's going to bring up this again. You may not be able to see it, it may be black on the screen, but it's going to say, do you want to allow this? It's not a virus, so you can press yes, and then it's going to say extracting. And then once that's finished extracting, you can come down here and you're going to see this FOV tool fixed by Saif. Follow Saif on Twitter. This may work for you, however this method did not work for me. But basically this is the FOVs that we can use. 80 is base, but you can go up to 90, 100, 110, 120. 120 is the most FOV you can get. And then, but I would suggest either 90 or 100 because it gives you that stretch resolution feeling. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to do 120 FOV. But like I mentioned, this didn't work for me. But if this method does work for you, you want to go ahead and press 5 for whatever FOV. It's going to say info for devs. It's going to copy all this, and then it's going to say done. Then it says thank you for using Saif and Aqua's FOV tool. Hope you enjoy. Press any key to continue. And there you go. That is the FOV slider inside of Fortnite. Now if this method did work for you, then I mean, good job. You have FOV in Fortnite now. But like I said, I think 3 times now, this method did not work for me and may not work for you either. So what you want to do now is you want to create a new text document. The reason why we're creating a new text document is so that we can copy the original file, the original game files, and paste them in this just in case you want to go back to the original resolution. The way that you create a new text document is by right-clicking on your desktop, going down to New, and going down to Text Document. The reason why we're creating a new text document is because we're going to copy the original game user settings of Fortnite and paste them in this folder just in case you want to go back to the original resolution. So now that we have this new text document, this can be just put over to the side. But what we're going to have to do is now we have to go into the Fortnite folders and copy the game user settings and paste them in this folder so we can go back in case you want to. The way you do this is by going down to the little app bar on the start menu where it says type here to search, clicking on this and typing in %app data % and pressing enter. It's that folder right there. Then you want to go back to app data, local, then you want to go down to Fortnite game, saved, config, Windows client, and then you're going to see game user settings here. Now what you want to do, you want to right click on this, go down to properties, make sure this box is unchecked so that we can edit this and copy and paste it, and you would press apply and OK. Then you would go into these files, and now these are the original game user files. So what you want to do, you just want to highlight all of this, go all the way down to the bottom, pressing Control C. Once you do that, you go over back to the new text document and press Control V, and that pastes everything. And you go up to File, Save, and then you can close this document. As I mentioned previously, this new text document is so that you can go back to the original game files if you want to switch back. But now that we have this document out of the way, we can go back over to game user settings, double click back in this, and now you can highlight all of this and you can press backspace or delete, and that'll delete everything in the file so we can copy and paste the new FOV into this folder. Now you want to go back into your files, go to your downloads and go down to FOV Changer, and you can choose the resolution you want. Like I said, I'm going to do 120 just to show you how much FOV you can get. And then you can double click in this and it'll open this, and this is everything that we're going to use. So now what you want to do, you want to come up here, you want to copy everything just like we did the new text document, go all the way down and press Control C. Then you want to come over to game user settings, come over here, press Control V, go up to File, and then go to Save. So now that we're done with the game user settings, we can go ahead and close this out, and then you want to bring up your Windows client folder again. Then you want to see game user settings. You want to right click on this, go down to properties. Once you click on properties, you want to check read only, and the reason why we're checking read only is so that Epic or Fortnite doesn't try to go back and change the file to its original purpose. Then you want to go and hit apply, and then you want to hit OK, and now we're done here. Now after this is pretty much all the steps that we need to do, and now we can go ahead and load up Fortnite to see if this works. Now as I mentioned previously, you cannot use this with the stretch resolution method that I made in my last video. I've tried it before and it did not work well at all. It just made me pick one res or the other. So you have to stay on 1920 by 1080 or maybe a res a little bit lower than that, but you cannot do the original 1650 by 1080 or 1750 by 1080 with this method. I also wanted to mention that this method does in fact work with the changing of the screen. If you were to do it like in my previous video of the stretch resolution, what you want to do, you want to right click, you want to go down here in the video control panel, you want to make sure your background resolution is in 1920 by 1080, otherwise this isn't going to work because it's not going to let you resize the desktop unless you are in 1920 by 1080. Now that that's out of the way, what you want to do, you want to go down to adjust desktop size and position. When you click on this, it's going to take you to this. It's going to do resize. I explained how to do this process in my previous video about getting stretch resolution. What you want to do is basically go down to where it says height, and you want to drag this all the way down. It's going to stretch out your background, as you can see from the little icons over here. You press OK. And then once you press OK, your screen is going to look like this. It's still going to be in 1920 by 1080. But this way, if you want to be able to play like this, you want to use actually the 100 FOV, and it'll allow it to be in this box as you see on the screen. It'll allow it to be able to play in this and play full screen. That's how you do that. I wanted to get that out of the way just to confirm that this does work if you resize your screen. And now that we have everything out of the way, we can go into Fortnite and see if this works. Now I also want to mention that if you want to go back to the original documents at any time, you just go back to new text document, you go back to the config folder and Windows client where your game user settings are, you delete those game user settings, then you drag this document into that folder and you click save and you click read only, and it should keep it on that. Now also, I want to put a disclaimer out there. Use this at your own risk. I am not going to be using this personally because I don't know if I can get banned. If you want to use this for normal games or casual games, go ahead. That is your prerogative. You can do that if you want to, but I'm not going to be doing this. Now, as you can see, as Fortnite is loading up, this is how much more FOV you're going to be getting in the game. It's a crazy amount. This is 120. It's going to stay in this little windowed mode because that's just how it's going to be, but this is pretty much how much FOV you're going to be getting, how much more FOV you're going to be getting in the game. Now I am in the lobby right now, guys. Just look at how much more FOV you are getting from this method. Your game is going to look a little bit crappy, but if you want to change that at any time, just go into settings and then come down to all of this here. It's going to put everything on high. You can change this to whatever you want to. I recommend doing all the way down just to give you that stretch resolution feeling, and turning motion blur off, and then turning show FPS on and this off as well. And then you can keep this at 100 if you want to, or you can come down a little bit and put it at a lesser resolution here. Once you press do that, you can press apply, and now we are in this, and this is how your game is going to look. This looks a lot better. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go into creative. My game may be a little bit laggy because I am recording, but we're going to launch the server. Now guys, look at the insane amount of FOV you are getting from doing this. Let's go into my island here. And look at this, guys. You can literally see everything. The creative servers are still messed up, and it's also probably because I'm recording. But as you can see, all of the FOV they're getting, I can see the entire box just from this one method. So yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. This just gives you an insane amount of FOV. As I said before, use this at your own risk. That's why I came into creating a mobile game. If you do in fact want to do this and you do want to use this method, then please feel free, be my guest. Like I suggest, if you want to do this, I suggest using 100 or 90, because honestly this is just too much FOV, if we're being quite honest. I'm sorry if this video or this gameplay right here is a little bit choppy. This is just because of the recording software and everything like that, but the point is, just look at the amount of FOV that I am getting from this method. You guys are free to use this if you want, and that's pretty much it. This is the video. Thank you guys for watching, and see you guys next time. Peace.